I'm definitely on Discord because I'm excited. Alright, you may
Oh.
speak, Sagel.
Penis.
Oh, that's the first thing you fucking. Okay. So, hi. Give me 1 second again as I boot up the game for y'all to play. Play, fucking watch, blah blah. I've technically beaten this game off stream. I don't have any really video recordings of me playing it, but that's fine. We're gonna treat this as a fresh start. We're gonna play the game, and whatever route we get, we get. This game does have several routes, and I highly suggest if you haven't already, definitely go play. Go get the game. It's on Steam. It's really nice, very fun game.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and boot the game up and hopefully get things going.
Whoop whoop. Let's go.
Steam's having a little bit of a hard time considering the past 2 games were coming through my external, so it's like not responding first thing and foremost. I'm hoping that it's not still on the screen where I had it last. Did the game just... I think the game literally just crashed upon impact.
Oh no.
Oh my god, it did.
Oh my god.
It's like... There we go. I needed to turn down the volume.
Yeah.
It is a loud fucking game.
Oh man.
Alright, move to the live stream. Give me a hot second, chat. We are going to be doing some shiz. Hold on.
Need to reposition the game on screen.
Yeah. I'm gonna...
Yeah, that's usually what I do when a game won't fit like in full screen. I'll center it.
Alright, this is the best we're gonna do. But yeah, hopefully you'll still be able to hear. Actually, hold on, I got music volume. There we go. You should be able to hear.
Free of sweet potato weevils.
You should be able to hear both the game and Sage now. The audio's not too worried. But yeah, welcome to Crimson Gray, where we get to meet this cute girl. Let's get started. John has always thought of himself as a stable person. Stability worked out well when he was just trying not to let little things get him down. It wasn't so great when everything was crumbling around him. When the entire world started to seem gray and flat, he began wondering if all that stability would kill him, and if he would care when it did. There wasn't any highs or lows anymore. Whatever happened to him, John didn't feel happy or sad. He just... You want to help read as well?
Oh, I'm gonna be delayed really bad. I don't think that's a good idea.
Then I'll do it. Classmate number 1. Hey, what are you doing? Spacing out, man. Classmate number 2. You're a real head case these days, John. You're going to flow away on us? Sorry, I'm just distracted. A moment later, he started drifting away again. Even his friends' voices were nothing but buzzing in his ears, meaningless sounds echoing in his hollow shell. They weren't even really his friends. They were friends with the happy-go-lucky person he'd been at the beginning of high school. These days they joked about him being no fun, but that was more than just a joke. They got tired of him, find someone else, and he'd be alone. He wasn't sure whether or not that would be worse. Whoa, is that creepy chick staring at us? I think she is. Who is that anyway? Lizzie Doss, I think. And are you right? John, doesn't she have the same math class with you or something? It took John a second to even register that question. Why are they staring at some girl who was staring back at them? There she is! She looked the same as all the other girls at their school. Shyer, maybe. She could probably hear them talking about her. He wanted to say something, but kept silent. Damn, she's really staring. Is she staring at us or John? I think it's him, haha. Think she's a stalker? Yeah, those are some crazy eyes, haha. You better watch out, John. You're a real sad sack these days, but you can do better than her. Shut up. Those words were those words were past his lips before he could stop them. Why would he even open his mouth now, of all times? But he couldn't let them keep talking about her like that. People call him creepy or lazy all the time, and he hated it. But after those 2 words, he just stood there like an idiot. When something was mattered to him, he couldn't pull himself together. What's wrong with you, man? Don't say things like that about people you don't know. She's just hanging out up here like we are. Sorry. Oh no, she's giving us those serious crazy eyes. Just leave her alone, okay? She hasn't done anything to you. Sheesh, okay, man. You think she's gonna fall in love with you as her handsome protector or something? Haha, that'd be just like John. You want to talk to her you want to talk to the crazy girl, be our guest. We're heading back to class. Don't wait up, man. Like, she's just standing in there.
Yeah.
Staring.
Let her vibe, bro.
Right. The ways her eye moved, John thought she was focused on him so intensely that she may not have even heard what the other said. Did it even bother her? He wished she could be like that, instead of the smallest thing sending him crashing to a state of worthlessness. But maybe she was she was like him, just capable of hiding it. John cleared his throat and walked up to check on her. Right, she's girl bossing. like, leave her be. She's trying her best.
She just vibing.
Hey, sorry about them. They can be assholes sometimes. Well, I guess I don't have lots to say. Sorry if we bothered you. John slunk away and cursed his own idiocy. She had been fine without him. He just made everything worse. There had been something hard in her eye, a strength that he didn't have. He probably had been projecting all his weaknesses onto her in the first place. She wasn't like him. She wasn't broken. She could shrug off things his friends said and get on with her life. At least that meant she could shrug off his annoyance too, which she probably just forgot all about him. Thank you. You're so kind. Such a kind person. Kindest person. The only person. I found you. I finally found you. Found you. Found you. Found you. So, Chat, how are we feeling about the main girl now? The teacher's voice was incomprehensible, but John knew what he must be picking it up on some level. He wasn't sure how, but even though he was stumbled through every day, he was doing okay in school. He could seem normal whenever he wanted to. Just didn't feel worth it. Girl paused a little too close to the sun. Oh no, the game's not responding. She heard that.
Oh god. I'm sorry guys, our game is apparently free of sweet potato weevils, so we can't really guarantee that it'll work 100% of the time.
Right. That was almost the worst part. He seemed normal, though nothing was normal anymore. It wouldn't even be normal again. What did Miss Smith say? High-functioning depression? Such an awful, empty phrase. At least class was over now. He could go home, sleepwalk through his assignment, and then fall unconscious. At least for a few hours, he could. Then he became aware of her. She was watching him.
Oh boy.
Maybe she wanted to thank him? No, he was being stupid. He did nothing worth thanking. More likely, she wanted something from him. Or, most likely of all, she didn't even care about him and was just imagining the whole thing. She was still staring, though. Alright, what should we do?
Oh shit.
We have options.
Oh shit. I don't know, I mean, I would smile at her, but that's me, you know? Just feel like friendly. Gotta be nice, you know?
We just smile at her? Okay. I'm gonna put my drink down before I do this. Alright, we're gonna
apparently free of sweet potato weevils.
Her expression was impossible to read. Was she shy? Was she embarrassed for him? Either way, he doubted it mattered. He headed to his apartment anyway. He didn't want Miss Smith getting mad at him again. Miss Smith was one of the only people John could focus on. He wasn't sure how much good she was actually did him besides prescribing him medicine, but she did at least try to help. John, you're not looking so bad today. Did something good happen? A boy your age ought to be more interested in girls. Are you dating someone? No, I can't focus on people. Maybe I could prescribe you something for that. We don't have anything on hand right now, but I could get it quickly. That's the advantage of having a koi tech in town. I don't want to take this medication anymore. I don't think it's working. The Paxine? But that's the first one you really responded to. I feel worse. Everything's so gray. Voices just echo. Can't I go back on generic medicine? John, you need to understand you are deeply clinically depressed. It's my professional opinion that you should under no conditions go off your medication. When you're getting used to medication, there could be initial side effects. Sometimes things have to get worse before they can get better, okay? Okay. All he heard was he was too broken for any drug to fix. He was so worthless. Even the newest drugs from Koitek didn't do anything. I'll renew your Paxton prescription and see if getting on anything getting you a complimentary drug. We'll figure this out yet, John. Now, why don't you lie down there and get to our session? Good. Get comfortable. Did anything special happen during the day today? No, it was a normal day. The therapy session quickly fell away from Malin's buzz. For a short time at least, he didn't feel the emptiness. Finally, or too soon, it was over. Miss Smith had told him he was doing well and sent him on his way. John slumped back home. The house was empty, like it always was, ever since his mother was left and his father spent all his time working. He did his homework, ate, he cleaned the dishes, and sat down from the TV and stared at it without turning it on. Somehow he dragged himself to bed and fell asleep. The routine used to be comforting, but now it was starting to erode his sanity. His mind had to crack eventually. Maybe it was already happening. For a second he thought he saw the girl outside the window. But no, there was nothing. Of course there wasn't. He was really losing it.
Hee-hoo.
Another day. This game really, puts on the eerie feeling, right from the get-go.
Hee-hoo. Oh, I have a little kitty. Everybody say hello to my little kitty.
Oh, hello, kitty. Give her kisses for me. I'm taking some sips of my water.
Kisses. Kisses from Papa. Kisses from Papa. Sadie's like, no.
He had to face this somehow. It seemed impossible until the moment he finally stumbled into class. School was the usual mindless buzz. There was a job fair announced in the third period, as if it meant anything at all. Almost everyone.
Give kiss from me, asshole. Okay, Sadie, kiss from Papa Diedrich. Mwah. Mwah. There you go.
Almost everyone in their school would either go to work for Koitek, move away, or stay in town and become unemployed. John wondered which of those would happen to him, but from a distance, as if he was thinking about some person he barely knew. His grades were good enough to get into Koitek, but the process was so competitive. No, he didn't have enough energy for that. He couldn't imagine moving away, looking for a job in a strange city. Most mornings he could imagine his surviving the day. But his father wouldn't support him, and his mother didn't want him. Once he graduated, there'd be no way he could stay with either of them. What would even happen to him then? Would he just become homeless? Sit there on the street begging for change until one night he froze to death? Maybe that's all he would deserve. John, are you alright? Sorry, sir. I'm paying attention, honestly. I didn't ask that. I asked if you were alright. I'm fine. Well, be sure to talk to a counselor if you're feeling bad, alright? We're lucky to have someone like Miss Smith help us. He had to keep it together. He remembered the lessons, but people were starting to think something was wrong. His control was slipping. He had enough time to visit his locker between periods. There was a proxy in there. He still had an extra dose left of the day. His locker was in the bottom row, so he had to bend down and... There was a piece of paper sitting in the middle of his locker. Cheer up! That's all it said. Nothing on the backside, no clues. Probably a girl's handwriting. But who left it? Oh, we're getting notes in our locker now, chat. Maybe
Oh man.
maybe it's the pretty girl that we caught staring at us at the rooftop. Could it be another classmate?
Vibes, 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 vibes.
Right. Hey, did you see anyone messing with my locker? Classmate, huh? Did something get stolen? There's way too many guys around for me to notice. It might have been a girl leaving a note. Like, a love note? Keep dreaming, John. You think any girl's gonna love your sorry ass?
Rude ass.
This classmate fucking hates us, dude.
What a fucking bitch.
Like, wow. Like, clearly we have, like, a note here that's, like, telling us to cheer up, so clearly somebody cares.
Bruh.
No. No, of course no one would love him. So, you didn't see anyone? Okay, thanks. Hey, John, you're gonna tell me she's a Canadian? I'm heading back to class. See you later. And she's really hot, right? Your imaginary girlfriend sounds amazing. What the fuck?
What a cunt. What a fucking cunt.
Right. John knew he should probably take some more practicing and head back to class, yet he was still holding onto the paper. He wasn't sure why. It really could be a prank, one of those guys trying to trick him. If so, it'd probably be followed by another fake note asking him to come out under the stupid confession tree, or they let him wait and laugh at him. But just for a moment, he saw the girl watching him. Could it have been her? By the time he got to class, John had a new theory. She felt sorry for him. He must have looked pretty pathetic, and she recognized his misguided good intentions for enough to feel pity. The rest of the school day passed in a more of a blur than usual. He had been delusional, but part of John still hoped it wasn't a prank. He headed to his locker, not daring to imagine anything. There was another paper waiting for him there. They shouldn't say those things about you. It didn't even look like the same person's handwriting. The first had been beautiful calligraphy. This one is more hurried scrawl. If it was all a prank, he no longer had any idea where they were going with this. He had already been beating himself up over saying the wrong thing, so this was way too much for John. He headed straight home to get some sleep before he cracked completely.
Yee-hoo.
The next day, John went as early as possible from approaching his locker anxiously. He wasn't sure what he wanted to find. There was no note this time, but there was a chocolate heart wrapped in foil set in the exact center of the bottom of his locker. John stared at it for a while, then slipped into his pocket and headed to class, even though he knew it was far too early. There was no way he could eat it. Even if it was a prank, it might have been slipped with laxative or something inside of it. That was kind of a thing his friends thought was funny. But if it was that girl... No, sorry. It didn't matter now. What mattered was someone completely knew his... I can reread that, sorry. It didn't matter now. What mattered was someone clearly knew his lockdown combination and could get in whenever they wanted. That could be a real problem. He knew he should come up with a solution before tomorrow. But what? Alright, we got more options.
Ooh, woo. Ooh, woo.
What should we do, guys?
I mean, I don't know, maybe leave a note. Ooh, woo. Maybe. But let's wait to see what chat says.
What do you think, chat?
Chat is almighty. Chat almighty. Hello, Sadie. Mwah. Mwah. Kisses from chat. Mwah. Sadie is like, what the fuck are you on about, Dad?
Yeah, if chat doesn't pick, I will pick for you.
Yeah. Y'all, if you don't pick, we pick for you. We go rah! Because I think leave a note, but I don't know.
Chat has gone silent. I do not think they care.
Chat cares not for the horse.
Chat cares not for the horse. Alright, we're gonna leave a note. John cut a small piece of sheet of paper from his notebooks and wrote "Thanks" on the inside, and then set it in his locker. If it was a prank, that ought to throw the pranksters off, and if it was someone who meant well, hopefully they'd just take his normal gratitude. He headed home, and once his homework was done, he quickly fell asleep. Next morning, he thought he spotted someone outside his window, but no one was there. When he opened his locker the next day, the note was gone. Making an effort to set up the mystery locker aside, John went with his friends up to the rooftop for lunch. They spread out on one side, enjoying the sight of the trees below. Midway through their meaningless conversation, John noticed Lizzie was watching them from far outside the roof. Her gaze was even more intense than before. So he uncomfortably tried to ignore her and focus on the conversation. Looks like the confession tree is in full bloom, huh? You really believe those stories? The true love and all that? It works, man. I got a buddy who graduated. He swear he gets so much pussy confessing under it. Yeah, we're not gonna get monetized at all for this fucking video. Well, if he kept doing it, then it's not true love, is it? Come on, people have been confessing on that tree for years. You seriously think anyone would confess under that tree if it did nothing? Nah, man. I think it's a tree of lust. It doesn't guarantee true love. Just getting laid. If that was true, then way more guys would be into it. It's mostly girls what I've seen. What do you think, John? I don't know. Aw, don't be that way. You dream of a girl confessing to your tree, don't you? Yeah, like a crazy stalker chick. It makes your heart all flutter when she confess, wouldn't it? That tree is magic, man, I'm telling you. Even a sensitive like you can get lucky if you confess there. Don't be stupid. It's just a tree. Whoa, someone has their panties in a twist. I'm telling you, everyone goes to only because people like you keep telling those stories. There's nothing magic about that tree. People just believe this, especially because everyone else says it is. Girls think the tree is romantic, so of course they're more likely to agree there. And guys will have to turn down someone in front of an audience. That's all it is. That's fair.
Yeah.
Because it's an awkward situation for both parties that they're like,
Yeah. Hi, Sadie. Oh, pretty girl. Hello, pretty girl.
shit, man, what's wrong with you today? With that shit like that, you're never gonna get a girl. Haha, you insulted the tree. He'll cockblock you now. Haha. That day, John couldn't get his therapy appointment fast enough. Miss Smith smiled at him when he came in, but immediately saw he was unhappy. Are you okay, John? Perhaps you should be on a stronger formulation. No. Well, our sessions should make you feel better. Lay down and get comfortable. Miss Smith, does Proxine have any visual effects? I sure hope not. Cortec has the highest standards for every drug it puts out, and Proxine is nearing its final clinical trials. Are you having vision problems? John laid back. I think it's supposed to say laid back. John laid back and stared out the window. Was he really seeing differently, or was it all in his head? He stared a long time before he opened his mouth and started talking. Everything feels so gray. So you are having vision problems. Not literally gray, just the sky today. I remember when I was younger, I always thought the clouds were beautiful. Now it's like there's nothing there. Nothing matters. I look up and I just don't care. That sounds like more likely to be a mental issue then. Why don't you get more relaxed and talk about it? Hold on. I had a burp.
Oh.
Taking a deep breath, John did his best, as usual, talking up with Miss Smith for a long time. He felt not better. Not necessarily, but at least not miserable. The session went by in a flash, and then he had to head home. He shuffled through his routine easily enough, slept fitfully, and then returned to school barely even more rested. But when he arrived, he found a huge crowd standing and staring. What's going on? You know that tree students confess under? The words made John shiver, even though he wasn't entirely sure why. He shifted to look through the crowd, and then he saw it. Oh god, the game's not responding.
The game really just went, nah, bruh, sorry.
Okay. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, chat. Parts of the tree were still burning, but the rest was charred. Ashes coated the ground near it. His throat was dry, as if the ashes were falling. As if the ashes were filling it. What happened? The cops were coming to check it out, but the shop teacher said it was like arson. Somebody covered the tree in gasoline and burned it down. See, this is why we need cameras. I've been telling the principal for years, but does he listen to me? No, no one thinks. The words slipped his mind as Ron turned away without even saying goodbye, not entirely sure what he was doing. He stumbled straight to his locker. When he opened the locker, he discovered a folded note set in the exact center, like always. He stared at it for a moment before he unfolded it with trembling hands. I didn't like that tree either. With an angry face. He stared at the words as if they were a foreign language, wishing he could avoid the understanding the conclusion. I didn't like the tree either. It was her. It had to be. None of his friends would be that insane. And what would be the point of pranking like that? But what's the point? What was the point for her? What did she think she accomplished? Should he tell someone? But this wasn't exactly evidence, and he really did want her to get. Did he want to get in that much trouble? John decided he was being stupid, like usual. He just needed to talk to her and find out exactly what was going on. Put an end to this. That day, whenever he was in the hallways, he could feel her eyes on him. With every passing moment, he became more sure that she burned down the tree. He wondered if a normal person would be afraid now, but for him, he barely penetrated his numbness. He was just wanting to find out what was wrong and put an end to it. It took until after school for him to find his Kent. When the teachers headed out assignments, he volunteered to clean the roof. John stepped onto the roof and headed to the far side. After a few seconds, he heard the door open again. He ignored it and instead climbed to the tank. The upper area was meant for blocked off, but the janitors had stopped putting their ladder there years ago. He turned and shocked he was already coming up, the ladder behind him. Reaching to the top, she held her hands close to her chest, shuffling feet demurely, but there was a spark in her eyes. Hello, Lizzie. Are you never going to greet me? Hello. Ah, I said it. Why are you following me? Because this girl could really have burned down the tree. It didn't seem like she had it in her. Were you the one leaving me notes in my locker? Yes. How did you know my combination? I watched you. You left me a note. It was almost too much. I took it home and I'll keep it forever and ever and ever. John realized he was weighing over his head, yet his mouth was still moving, asking the inevitable question. Why did you burn it down? Because it was a stupid tree. You're so smart. You said it just right. It was awful and stupid, and I hate it. And I hate. I love her so much. I'm sitting here like, yeah, my family's hearing me read out loud, and I'm just there like, yeah.
Oh, Ethan.
It's all because of
Nobody is gonna get pussy under that tree anymore, huh?
God. For real. It was all because of you, John. I could never do what needed to be done before. Now I can. She wasn't stable. She wasn't even close. What he got himself into? I finally found you. You're the only one for me. Part of him knew that he should do something. Run away. Call for help. Yet... Why? Huh? Why do you care about me? How can you ask that? You're the best person. The only person. Bullshit. I'm just another high school boy. No, not even that. I'm worthless. No. Don't say that. It's not true. It's not. I'm broken. My brain doesn't work right. Even the strongest drugs don't make a difference. No, that's not true. John is perfect. How can you say such things? The way her words flowed together, addressing him directly the moment in third person the next, it bothered him. It almost as the look in her eyes, whatever her issue was, it went deep. You're not well, Lizzie. You need help. Ah, you said my name. But I can't help you. I'm not worth anything to anyone. Just forget about me and find someone else to care about. No, I would never. You are the only person who matters. But why? You don't even know me. You don't care about me. I just part of your problem. No. It would be better if I was gone. Maybe you get better then. That's not true. It's not. I love you, John. I always loved you. I've watched you. Always. You're so good and kind and perfect, and even to a girl like me. He could barely listen to her words. John found himself wandering closer and closer to the side of the building as he followed him automatically. You're so sad, but you're still kind. I don't know how. You should be broken like me, but you... I can't help you if you want to help yourself. You need to forget about me and get some real help. No, don't say that. You're confused. Yes, confused. Poor John is so depressed, not thinking straight. He needs to understand how much I love him. She has a noise. He needs my help. The words froze for a moment as the knife glittered, and all he could do was stare at its edge. You just need someone to take care of you. I'll stop everyone's unkind things about you. No, I should just take you home and keep you there safe. Yes, you need some help. Where the hell has she gotten the knife? Was she actually using it on him? A second later, John realized a foolish thought. This girl had burned down the tree. He just said it was stupid. He had no idea if there's any limits she might do. And would that really matter? He spent nights laying in bed, wishing he had never been born, wishing he had a way to end it all. You can't threaten me.
Is your microphone screwing up?
Is it?
Is it?
What do you mean screwing up? I was mid-sentence, hello?
Oh, you were, like, distant. Like, I could barely hear you. You sounded far away for a second.
I was talking kind of quietly.
Oh, well, you're here now. Hi.
Mid-sentence, you're like,
I couldn't hear you, and I wasn't sure if it was affecting the stream, too.
I think we're good on stream. It's okay.
Okay.
Alright. John, get away from the edge. It's not safe. He took several steps to the very edge before he could stop him and turn around to face her. The back end of his shoes hung off the edge of the building, nothing between him and a fatal fall. My life matters so much to you, stop toying around with me. No, you don't understand. What do you want? To stab me until I'm yours forever? Is that it? Never. John is so good and kind. I would never need to stab him. Please come away. I'll take care of you. You can't. Maybe you had good intentions, but you need help. Unless you get it, you can only hurt me. I will. Whenever you want, I promise. Just don't hurt yourself. It was a lie, of course. She was just saying whatever it took to get him a step away from the edge. It's exactly what he imagined it would go. He's standing from the edge, and everyone would say all kinds of lies about how he mattered to them, because they cared for him for the first time. Not about him, but about the idea of him. But that look in her eyes, it couldn't be fake. It might be a twisted love, but she loved him utterly. She needed help too. Maybe he could help her, assuming she didn't stab him. He's really sitting here like, I could fix her.
Yeah.
He's sitting here like, I could fix the fucking mentally ill John Doe girl.
They're both mentally unstable. Don't worry about it.
But what the hell was he looking for anyway? Lizzie, would you make a promise with me? A promise? I'll step away, I'll talk to you, or even let you leave notes in my locker, or whatever it is you want. But you have to listen to me and get some help. Can you do that? You promise? You promise you won't leave me if I say yes? I won't leave you, Lizzie. Forever? The answer stuck in his throat, and he hesitated, wondering if he wasn't making a mistake saying too much. But in the end, he swallowed and nodded. Forever. Now down the knife, and whoops. As he started to step away, John lost his balance and fell backwards. Suddenly, he was in a free fall, nothing to him in a cold pavement. At that moment, Lizzie lunged forward insanely fast and grabbed his wrist. Impossibly, she held him up. Her body was thin, yet somehow she stopped his fall and held him with one hand. Her eyes had a mixture of unstable fear and twisted desire. In that moment, he knew with absolutely certainty if he had fallen, she would have thrown herself after him. You can't die, John. You're the only one. The only one. With the same incredible strength, she pulled him back up to the rooftop. Fortunately, she had left the knife behind when she lunged to catch him, but he was still anxious of being so close to her. John almost died. John, I love you. I wouldn't let anything bad happen to you. It was clear she was completely unstable, but was she actually dangerous? It seemed like she cared about him more than anything. Or was he so pathetic that he latched on to anyone who showed him the slightest sign of affection? Worthless. You'll keep your promise, right? Of course. Then tomorrow we'll go talk to someone, see if we can't get you some medication. Is that okay? If that's what John wants, then of course it's okay. Good, perhaps. But I want more than that. I love you, John. I've told you over and over. Don't you love me too? At least she was starting to ask question without a knife in her hand, but was there a good answer to that question? No, he had to think of it logically. She wanted him to answer yes, but that might make her worse. The risk of saying no could be ignored either, though. What should we do, chat? She has a knife, and we almost just died.
She has a knife.
She has a knife.
I mean, I would think yes, but you ask chat what to do while I go get food because I'm hungry.
Yeah,
I'll be back.
I will decide for you, chat, if you don't. But I'm gonna let you guys sway the odds, because every choice in this game matters. Alright, I'm choosing. We're gonna cautiously tell her yes. Lizzie, I don't know you very well yet, but despite all this, I think you're a good person. No, I'm awful. John is just being kind and not answering the question. I want to get to know you better, Lizzie. Maybe then I could love you. Ah, he said it. He said it. John just desperately hoped that it wasn't a mistake. Hoped that this wasn't all a mistake. But he hadn't been stabbed yet, and after how today had gone, that was good enough for him. Then I'll see you later, okay? I'll be watching you, but yes, later. You're not gonna do anything crazy? No, John loves me. That's all that matters. We both agreed to get to class, but we'll talk later. Talk tomorrow, okay? Okay. Oh god, the game's not responding again. Give me a hot moment, chat. I don't want to yeah, there it goes. Sorry, itching my ear. The rest of the day was even more blurred than usual. Everyone's voices were not even echoing in his head. John could hardly believe that what he had just done. It all seemed like a dream now. Had Lizzie really pulled a knife on him? Had he really threatened to jump off the building? It made him wonder if he wasn't the insane one. But no, it had really happened. For better or for worse, he was stuck in this situation. Only when he had headed back to bed, John realized that he felt strangely alive, even better after his therapy sessions. Maybe it was the rush to death. Maybe it was just having something to think about other than his pathetic existence. But he felt almost good. Maybe that meant he was crazy too. For now, he was glad to just sleep soundly. The game is again not responding. When I'm able to gain control, I'm going to save the game just so we don't lose our progress. There we go. But when he arrived at school, he found Lizzie waiting for him by the school entrance. She looked like she could have been waiting there the entire night. But when she saw him, though, her face lit up. John, you're finally here. I've been waiting so long. Good morning? Yes, it's a wonderful morning. I spent so long too nervous to talk to you, and afraid you might hate me. But we had such a nice talk. Now I'm barely nervous at all. But my heart is still go crazy anytime you're near, John. Isn't it horrible that we have to be in different classes? Lovers shouldn't be separated like this. Would you eat lunch with me today, please? Won't you? He could sound so adorable. Normally, he'd be happy to have a girl like her asking to eat lunch together, but sure. On the roof again? No, there might be unkind people there, and you might feel sad again. No, I have the perfect place. Where is it? That's a secret. I'll show you at lunchtime. He wasn't. It was that. I can speak, I promise. He really wasn't sure how to feel about that. For once, John had something to look forward to, or dread. He wasn't sure. The minutes seemed to crawl by until it was finally lunchtime. When he went looking for Lizzie, he discovered that she was waiting behind him, completely silent and watching him. Hi, Lizzie. Let's go. We don't have to go to the cafeteria this way. She practically dragged him away from the school and onto the paths in nearby forest. Soon they got far enough where they could hear the sounds of the school. Here's perfect, just perfect. Lizzie faced away from him, giving a soft laugh, and suddenly she whirled around, thrusting something towards him. A lunchbox. I worked really hard on this. You have to eat it. You have to. Okay. Thanks, Lizzie. She gave a little squeal and promptly sat down on a small rock. It seemed like she had a second lunchbox of her own, but she kept it on her lap until he opened his. John was braced for the horror show, but to his surprise, it was just normal food. It actually looked pretty good. He took a bite. It tasted good too. John realized that Lizzie was staring at him intensely, as if her life was on the line. So he smiled at her. It's really good. Yay! I worked so hard on it. So, do you just want to eat together, or... This is a date, isn't it? We should get to know each other more. I want to know everything about you. Well, I'm nothing special. That's not true. Let's see, what to say. Despite himself, John found it easy to talk to her. He was sure he was sounding like an idiot, rambling about stupid, mundane topics, yet she listened to every word with rapt attention. The game's not responding. I don't think it likes them streaming, to be honest. It was it was bizarre to have someone actually care about his life. His father never had the time. His friends were busy with their own things. Miss Smith was just listening professionally, but Lizzie really cared. He knew she wasn't well, and her obsession was probably a sickness, yet pathetic part of him didn't care. He just was happy to have someone paying attention to him. Only after talking for a long time did he realize he was talking about himself like a self-centered jerk. She didn't seem to mind, but he still felt guilty. Sorry, I've been talking a lot. I can do that sometimes. Oh, don't apologize. I like listening to you talk. It's been pretty boring though. I mean, you already know a lot about me. I want to know everything about you. I've been watching you for a long time. I know all the facts, but I still don't know everything. I can't see inside your head. That's where the important parts of John are, but I can't see them. I wish there was a way to crack into your head open and see all the thoughts inside. John swallowed uncomfortably. You can always ask what I'm thinking, okay? Okay, you're so nice, John. The uncomfortable silence. So, Lizzie, tell me about yourself. Oh, there's nothing to tell. I'm not important. I just want to listen to you more. Yes, but if I want to know more about you, don't you want to tell me? Ah, John is so kind. I don't deserve him. So, what about your parents? I'm a live alone now. Neither of my parents wanted me anyway. I'm sure that's not true. They probably just... You don't have to make me feel better. I don't mind. You don't mind that your parents... My father never loved me anyway, and my mother's dead now. My parents are separated too. They never made it formal, but yeah, they're separated. My mother doesn't visit, and my dad's always at work. There's not really there. You mean they just leave you alone? How horrible. How dare they leave you alone like that? Clubs. Do you have any after-school clubs? When he wasn't pulling the conversation from the troubling topics, John found himself enjoying their call. Or maybe he was just happy to be talking to someone and actually managed to pay attention to the conversation. He finished every bite of lunch without thinking about it. Given the way she stared at the last crumbs while he finished them, it was probably a good thing. Too late it occurred to him that he might have tampered with the lunch, yet she stared at him so pleased that he enjoyed it. John couldn't believe she would do anything bad to him. As soon as he had that thought, he remembered the tree and shivering involuntarily. After school, John had barely gotten out the door when he spotted Lizzie following him. It seemed as though she was stalking him at first, but when he made eye contact, she gave a sweet smile and skipped forward. John, let's walk home together. Do we live in the same direction? No, don't worry. I'll walk to my house later. Which meant she did know where he lived, and he really needed to be more cautious. Maybe we can do something else. Remember our promise? Yes. Getting medication therapy really helped me a lot. I hope they help you too. Now, I think the easiest thing to do would probably get to Miss Smith, and she could. No, I hate her. She's awful. She wants to take you away from me. Wait a second now. That's not true. She's one type of John is too nice. She can't see what kind of person. She can't see what kind of person she is. I have to protect him. Whoa, Lizzie, wait, calm down. If you don't want to talk to Miss Smith, we can do something else, alright? Okay. So, probably not the best to choose a woman. There might be a male Koi type persistent in town. Maybe one of them could prescribe something. But he really wasn't sure how that would work. He had been counting on Miss Smith to guide him in the process, but now he can't figure it out for himself. Lizzie, I need to do some research first. Is that okay? Okay, I'll follow you. Maybe it'd be easier if I did it myself. No, I don't like that idea. I'll see you tomorrow, okay? You can bring another lunch. Okay, see you tomorrow, John. He hoped that medication would help her stabilize. After all, she'd be cute if. Why exactly was he doing this? Had he told himself it was to help her and make her sure no one gets hurt? But now he was hoping she could become normal and stay with him. Pathetic. He couldn't get a girlfriend normally, and he had to take advantage of some poor girl's obsession. For now, it didn't matter. She really didn't get help, and he might be able to get her to it. It was just a question of how. The best way to probably ask for advice from Miss Smith or pharmacist. He could try to research some himself, though he doubted he'd be any good at it. He supposed he wouldn't hurt if he asked her if she was talking anything else or if she had allergies or something. Damn it! He should have done it earlier. Now it was too late too. John realized that she was still following him. He couldn't be so he shouldn't have been surprised. Okay, so asking her was still an option. But he had so much time before he had to get home and do his scope work. So you need to choose this carefully. More options. Since Chad has been quiet, the last few choices, I'm gonna make this choice. We are going to talk to a pharmacist. John explored the part of town where he thought he remembered the Kotek pharmacy. Turned out his memory was right. It's staffed by a male pharmacist. The middle-aged man gave him prefectory nod and listened to patiently enough that John described Lizzie's symptoms without mentioning her directly. I recommend Paxine or Sorosine. Either one could. No, that's not enough. Excuse me, young man. I don't think I am on Paxine, and it's the simple. That isn't a simple problem. I'm worried she might hurt someone. I see. Is there something you could tell me about? Tell me, young man. No, I just want to help. I wish someone had got me some help earlier, and I wanted to help be that person for her. If the condition is serious, I do have two suggestions. You need a blood test to prescribe her either one, though. What do you suggest? Either Niceland or Yodelin. Niceland is better if the problem is mental. Yodelin is if the problem is emotional. Unfortunately, it's probably both. Thanks for letting me know those. I'll see if I can't convince her. Not many people your age would do so much trouble for a classmate. You're a good kid. Strangely, that man's words actually made John feel better. Maybe he was doing the right thing with all this. Stepping onto the street, John glanced at his watch and decided it's more time to reach on his options. We're going to talk to Lizzie. John walked along the street until he assured Lizzie was slinking after him. Then he turned to wave to her. She waved back. Hi, John. Did you change your mind? Can we go home together? I know you. No, I just wanted to check on you. Are you taking any medications right now? Have you had any bad reactions in the past? Oh no, I've never taken anything. My mother always took too many drugs. It scared me when I was little. I see. Are you sure you should really be talking about medication right now then? Oh, John is so considerate. Don't worry, I'll be fine. I see you take medication every day to get better. I want to be like you. Okay, good. I hope it would help. I'll take anything you give me, John. It was getting late and John realized he needed to get home quickly. He wanted to get in time for his homework. On his way back, he was sure Lizzie was following him, but he couldn't get a clear look at her. At least it was only one more day until the weekend. Friday passed faster than John expected. Lizzie was nearby at all times and they ate lunch together, but things were almost normal. Almost. Just when he started to get comfortable, she would give him a giggle that went on a little too long or slide a hand towards where she hid her knife, or responded far more enthusiastically than she should. Was it bad for him to think she was actually cute despite all that? She could be nice if she wasn't so well. But John hated when his friends suggested that he could be fun if he wasn't so depressed, and that thought left an ugly knot in his stomach. Well, it wasn't long now. Maybe she can get some real help. He made it to the last class, almost slept through his lesson with Smith, and then headed home. John finished his homework and chores as fast as he could and went to sleep. Going out in public anyway strained him. He wanted to have enough energy for the weekend. He woke up too early, eyes gritty, and head still mirrored half remembering dreams. John got up and got a drink and happened to glance out the window. Lizzie was standing outside his house with a huge smile on her face. After staring at her for a moment, John groaned and went back to bed. The second time he woke up, the sun had barely risen. He felt a little better, but not much. Normally, he would stay at home all weekend, but couldn't do that. He wanted to help Lizzie. He was still standing outside his house, in the exact same spot and with exactly the same cheerful expression. John brushed his teeth, got dressed, and combed his hair. He realized he was acting like he was getting on ready for a date. True, he had some kind of acceptance for her confession. He decided that whatever this, just that what he had to deal with now, that if he wanted to have a connection with her. Yeah, my tongue gets tied after I've been reading for like almost an hour. Well, at least he hoped he was going to go out with a cute girl. He hadn't done that since middle school, and all those were childish relationships. Of course it was. The only way he could get a date. Pathetic. Finishing his preparations, John headed outside. He hadn't noticed from his house, but Lizzie had gotten dressed up for the occasion. He had never seen her outside his school uniform, and it made him hesitate for a moment. She had obviously put effort into making herself look good, and she did. And sorry, it would have been nice if not for how it made him worry about the level of importance he was attaching to this day. As soon as Lizzie saw him, her smile became even brighter than while waiting. John, I'm ready. Good morning, Lizzie. Did you sleep all right? Oh, I didn't sleep. Let's go. She practically dragged him down the street, apparently heading for the bus station. Yet instead of looking forward, her gaze was fixated behind her on him. Did you have a plan, John? This is our first date. It needs to be perfect. Shit. He should have known she'd treat it this way. It wasn't like he had enough time. He used to get planning, but what was wrong with him? Are you back?
Hi.
Hi.
I have yakisoba noodle.
Nice. My tongue is getting fucking tied reading for like almost an hour straight.
Oh, you can stop whenever you like.
Yeah. God. This might be a few parter stream, to be honest, chat, because like I've been stumbling and everything, so I'm actually going to go ahead and save. And end stream here.
You get tongue-tied reading for over an hour. I lose my voice reading for over 3.
I'm not used to reading out loud, which I think is the problem.
I read a lot. Yeah, I read a lot, so...
That the game keeps not responding, so I don't want to risk anything.
Oh.
But yeah. I'm gonna go ahead and flick to an ending soon screen. And... hold on. Main menu, yes. And then quit. And then I'm gonna do the whole thing. Thank you to everybody who showed up and voted on the poll for me to play Crimson Gray. We will be playing this game again, hopefully soon, and hopefully I'll have a better chance of reading and whatnot, because I was tongue-tying so hard, and I definitely added words and removed words from sentences because it just flowed a little better in my head for some reason. But yeah, I'm really happy to be sharing this game with y'all. It's a really fun game, and as you can see, we're dealing with a yandere girl, and we just have to play our cards right, and everything will be a-okay. But yeah, with that, I bid everybody adieu.